What's up, everyone? We're here live for the first episode, remake episode of the Post Bell. We're renaming it, everything, changing all that stuff to the Final Bell. We're joined here by Mange, one of Martino's followers. How you doing tonight?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Good, good. That was a better episode of SmackDown than what we've been seeing. What did you think of it overall, and how did it help the build leading into Bash in Berlin tomorrow?
I thought it was a pretty decent show. I feel like the crowd added to it. We saw some local talent make their appearance from Monday Night Raw, and all in all, it was a good show, apart from the pointless Cody Rhodes segment, but we'll dive into that later on.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, just while I'm watching it, I'm seeing it. I'm like, okay, all day long, I was like trying to stay off Twitter when I was on my breaks and everything at work, but it was tough to do, and I saw bits and pieces of their face to face and everything. I saw the clip of Cole saying about the competent GM and taking a shot at Adam Pearce there. But yeah, the Cody the face to face, it just didn't seem like it really did anything. It was starting to maybe, and then it just came right back to just Cody's all about respect, and he even said, "I love you, bro." Like, I mean, so I'm hoping we get it eventually, but I hope something goes down tomorrow at Bash in Berlin to where we do see Kevin Owens turn, or even Cody lean back into that aggressiveness. But starting from the very beginning, the U.S. Open Challenge was answered by Ludwig Kaiser. What did you think of the opening match and him getting that shot of taking on the LA Knight for the U.S. title?
I liked it. They made it pretty obvious though, because obviously we know Ludwig Kaiser with Gunter, and
Mhm.
Gunter's in the main event but one of the main co-main events or something like that on Bash of Berlin. We kind of knew that um, Ludwig Kaiser was going to make an appearance. It was a good match though. It shows a lot about Ludwig Kaiser's individual abilities as a wrestler. It shows that he can compete with the champions, and maybe one day he'll go one-on-one with Gunter. So you
Yeah,
never know.
yeah, that would be something. He definitely is good on the mic, given that he's kind of the mouthpiece of Imperium and
Oh,
does the intros and everything like that. But I'm using WWE's Twitter as kind of a guide to go over, just wrap up and go over the card.
right.
That's what the show is. It was never meant to or intended to be all the Cody slander that we did, but it's just so easy, as we have said about slandering the champion, the A champion, the North
Very true.
Star holder, the North Star holder of the sport. But yeah, looks like Kaiser. I missed the. I got here and got home and everything, and got right into middle of the match. So I missed Kaiser coming out. I missed LA Knight's promo part of it. But it looks like they did clip a segment where um, Kaiser said he will make it his own personal European championship. So teasing that if he would have won, he would have renamed it or brought back the old European championship, much like we just saw it in AEW, MJF winning the international title and then making it the American
American,
championship.
yeah.
Um, Rolling right along, they showed a lot of video packages. I think right after that one, it rolled into a Gunther video package, and then sure enough, they previewed the tag match and then rolled into a Nia Jax video packages. What do you think of the production from WWE this far, since Kevin Dunn isn't there, and just all the changes from adding the lower thirds and switching up the entrances with the camera angles and all the production parts of everything.
I like the production part. I like the kids say cinema.
Yeah.
I feel like a overused term sometimes, but the production's A1. It's second to none. It even makes Cody Rhodes look good. Sorry, I have to make that a joke. But I think they can go levels to this as time goes on. I think Bash and Berlin match the promos of both vignettes, and I think when it goes to Bad Blood, I think we're going to see more more powerful, dainty music along with the package as well. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's everything production wise has stepped up tremendously, from the entrances with Jey Uso and Sami Zayn on Raw to even just the video packages in general with just the transitions and the clips that they do use, the music, like you said, and I'm excited to see the production side of everything going into Bad Blood and hopefully getting back to Hell in a Cell matches being added or just matches with stipulations. Because Bad Blood, I think, I mean I don't know, I never watched the original Bad Bloods because I know there's one that they're bringing back
Mhm.
from back in the day, but it's like whenever they had Extreme Rules for a couple years in a row and they kind of just had one or two Extreme Rules matches, and I want to see some stipulations for this Bad Blood color. I mean, strap match, on this card, and um,
Absolutely.
see everything picked up, not just the production side of things, as you said.
Do you think we'll get Blood this weekend?
Oh yeah, yeah, Punk, with the strap match, yeah, yeah, we're gonna see some color with Punk. Um, I think we could see some color with McIntyre. I don't think he's afraid to bleed a little bit. But yeah, I think Punk is Punk's not afraid to bleed. So between
Thanks
him
a
and
lot.
Cody, one of the two, they gotta get
Yeah,
some red out there.
absolutely.
That rolls into LA Knight successfully defending his U.S. title over in Berlin, and still. Then that, like I said, rolled into showing about the preview of the tag match. Baron Corbin and Apollo Crews finally getting on TV. What are your thoughts on them as a tag team and finally, hopefully, getting into consistently being on TV?
When I looked at the tag team, I'm thinking, when's Baron Corbin turning? Because I feel like he's always acting like the good guy. And when his tag team partner, there was the boom, as it were, he strikes. So I'm looking for that one-on-one match. So I think tonight's loss might be the starter of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's interesting that they just announced that Carrillo's re-signed with WWE, and then he gets on TV and gets a win.
Right.
And Legado del Fantasma, they were kind of not taken as serious as a group, and now all of a sudden, they, like I said, they immediate my thoughts on their presentation tonight was they finally looked good. They looked like they can be taken serious, and it was a good match from this tag match. Santos Escobar, usually, I mean, I've never really been a big fan of him, but tonight it's getting there for me. And them as a tag team, like you said, it could be,
Mhm.
when's Corbin going to turn? Given that he kind of had that run with Breaker as like a face, you could see that it was working. So it's like you weren't really thinking, okay, when's he going to turn? But it led into
Mhm.
them getting back up to the main roster, or Braun coming up to the main roster, Corbin back up. Um, that tag match rolled into the video uh, promo vignette segment of the Bloodline, where Solo called out the winner of tomorrow's main events, co-main event of Cody and Kevin Owens. What do you think of Solo calling his shot to be next, given that he just lost at SummerSlam?
Well, he can call it all he wants. I don't think he's getting another title shot. I think when he's in the ring, when they're back in America, I think we're going to see Jimmy Uso back next week to start the feud. And then we're going to see. I don't know. I'm going to make a bit of prediction now. I reckon we're going to see Brock Lesnar soon to help out with Jimmy Uso, because obviously we know who Paul Heyman's what do you call it, advocate is. I mean, part of the
Mm-hmm.
advocate is, and I
Yep.
think there's a bit of a link there that not many people are talking about. So yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I wouldn't mind seeing Lesnar be a part of it. I started to see it. It's funny you say that. I started to see that today more than anything. Today, yesterday. That people are starting to throw that out there in the sense, Heyman, Jimmy Uso can come back at any time. I would not mind that at all. And next week, SmackDown is in Canada. So, I mean, since it's in Canada, maybe a Lesnar does return. I think it would be the shock that people would are going to start to talk about but not expect still when or if it does happen. And it would be insane to see Brock align himself with anyone, especially a Roman Reigns, given their extensive rivalry. But I do love that idea, and I love the
Remember who
fact that
Cody Rhodes' last opponent was. Sorry to cut you off.
well, that's right, that's right, yeah, that's right,
So,
that's right.
yeah,
Brock Lesnar and Cody have history as well. Um,
the handshake.
yeah, it. I mean, they're starting to plant those seeds of the Bloodline Civil War Part 2 with Solo putting the video promo today
Right.
talking about taking everyone out and everything. So you got to think that they will be coming back very very soon, and maybe with a returning Brock Lesnar, that would be. I mean, that would just be absolutely insane. But
Yeah.
cinema nonetheless. So that rolled into the backstage segment we got with Apollo Crews and Baron Corbin after their loss, like you had said,
Mhm.
and then they walked up to Grayson Waller and Austin Theory, kind of running their mouths, and Waller once again throwing Theory under the bus, I guess you could say. So, what do you think of those two clowns as a tag team? When are we finally going to see them split? Since they've been teasing it for so long.
When's their next match? Do we know?
Hmm. That's a good question. I would bet they will. Nothing's been announced. I don't know. Maybe they might do more with that on Talking Smack or the SmackDown Lowdown,
Right.
whatever they call it now. But I see where I think I see where you're going with it. They might show up next week in Canada and do another one of the Waller talks and then gets Theory into a match,
Mhm.
or they just switch it. But yeah, not sure on when their next match would be, but yeah.
Because I mean, asked that because I reckon they're going to lose. Waller's going to blame Theory,
Yep.
and then they go on from there. I see that. We both can see that a mile off. And I think, you know what, Austin Theory makes a good babyface, to be honest with you. If you see how
Yes.
he is outside, if you see what he's like on social media, if he
Hmm.
brings out, he'll be so over with the crowd. So
Oh
over.
yes. Absolutely. And I think it would work. It would work.
Right.
And Waller can. I think Waller could probably do both, but he just has. I mean, they both have punchable faces, like Kevin Owens said whenever
Of
he was
course.
feuding with the two of them. But I see exactly what you're saying. Theory could do both and be believable as both. He's done, the heel. But
Mhm.
Waller definitely does have a more punchable face and could definitely stay the heel, be the one to, yeah. So I agree with that one. That rolled into of course the Nick Aldis coming out and acknowledging that we do have a SmackDown superstar in Randy Orton challenging Gunther for the Raw, the World Heavyweight Championship. So it could shake.
Yeah.
He made it seem like it's going to be it's up in the air. Given that it's Gunther's first defense, I think we all know that he is not going to lose that title anytime soon. But
Yeah.
that rolled into the face to face of Cody and Kevin Owens. We talked a little bit about that before we got started here, but like you said, pointless segment pretty much. Especially since they're having another one tomorrow on the kickoff show. But I mean, what are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes' title as a whole? The whole run from April 8th, April 9th to August 30th as we sit here right now.
To be honest with you, Nick, I think they shouldn't have done the Rock and Cody Rhodes segment on after WrestleMania because everybody knew from then on Cody Rhodes ain't losing anytime soon.
Yeah.
And we know Roxon could be away for a while. We might even get the match next year. It'll be maybe 2 years from now. We don't know how long Cody Rhodes' reign's gonna last. But here's the thing: I would have Rhodes lose the title against Randy Orton, and then he goes on another babyface run and gets it back.
Okay.
And then what happened was I'm just fancy booking here, you know. And what you can do when the Rock comes back at Survivor Series, Rhodes has it by then, and Rock can go, "Good job, buddy. You got your title back. Now we move." Because I feel like this this title run that he's going to be on. I hope, I, as you can hear, knock on wood, I hope it doesn't last until WrestleMania because I'll be honest with you, Nick, his matches with AJ Styles and Logan Paul, good matches. I just didn't care because we knew he's not going to win. We knew he's not going to lose. So what's the
Yeah,
point?
yeah, yeah. It's
That's what we,
that pretty much sums it up. Along with the same thing every single week, same promo, same this, same that.
right.
Just changing up the suits and all the tissues in his pocket for when he starts crying. Tonight we saw a little bit of that aggression, like I mentioned, like I said, and then all of a sudden, before you know it, he was back to "I love you, bro. Are we still going to be friends after I beat you?" And I mean, it anything different at this point would be good. If we get a surprise where he does lose, even if it's for a short period of time, to a Randy
Mm,
Orton, to give him 15 and then be one win away from tying Ric Flair and Cena. And then then at that point you can have Randy be around the title picture again at the time of the Rumble when Cena's going to be back, and those two can be just neck and neck for that Randy being edging for that, going for that 16th, and Cena going for the record if that's what he's going to do. He did speak a little bit about that whenever he was back earlier.
yeah,
um but yeah, it's anything at this point. I mean, I was saying it the other day, we could end up getting Cody and The Rock over in Saudi Arabia. I mean,
please
and
get it done quickly.
and and I mean, Martina made a good point. In if and when The Rock is back, he's not going to lose. So it's. I mean, I see it the same way. If and when we get Cody and Rock, that's gonna be it on Cody's title run, because I don't see The Rock losing and coming back again and losing again.
Yeah. I hate there's been this talk of it being like you're on social media all the time like I am. There's been this speculation that Rhodes gonna have it over for 2 years. I'm like, no, why? It's crazy.
Yeah,
People just love to make stuff up, don't they? To be honest.
yeah. I don't want to see him hold it for 2 years. I really don't. It I mean, at that point, I'd rather watch Punk and McIntyre fight over the friendship bracelet
Right.
for 2 years
Yeah.
than watch Cody hold the title and do the same thing over and over again. Or just, I mean, if he does hold it for 2 years, I want the switch. I want the turn. I want the flip to be in a heel and pushing the envelope,
Thank
and
you.
just a change. I just want to change. But yeah, I mean, the face to face, like you said, pointless. Pretty much same thing that we've been getting 3 weeks ago. Whenever Cody gave Kevin the match, or asked him for the match. Why? And again, why is the champion asking the challenger for the match? I guess we'll never know. But yeah, so that would be looks to be the co-main event of tomorrow night.
I've got a prediction.
Okay, let's hear it.
It's all gonna be like friends forever type of thing until the referee's not down.
Mm.
And Cody was gonna be on the floor. The title's gonna be near Kevin Owens. He's gonna look at it. Rosen's gonna be looking at him, gonna look at him, and going like, "Hit me, hit me." He doesn't. He hesitates. Referee regains consciousness. Crossroads 1, 2, 3. That's exactly what's
All
happening.
right, there you go. I will bookmark that. I'm going to text Martina right now to
There you go.
so I can remember the timestamp where you said that. I'll go back and I will clip that. But I love that. I love that prediction. And I can definitely see it.
It just adds something new because this story's been so stale.
It
Unless
has.
they do, yeah,
It
good.
really has. It I mean, it's sad because, I mean, 4 years ago today, Roman won the title and instantly shifted everything, and it was on a trajectory of just up and up and up and up and up, record after record after record, and then all of a sudden it's over, and they have a feeling of, well, now what? That's the feeling that every storyline Cody has been a part of since he
Right.
finished his story. Martina said it last night. how do you top anything when you've been marketing and pushing it as I have to finish my story,
Mhm.
and you get to the top, and then it's now what? Now what do we do? Um,
Like I
so
tweeted right after Roman Reigns lost, I'm like, "You won. Now what? What's next?" You know, it's
yeah,
like
I mean, it's
we get it as professional wrestling, but we want to see stories as well. You know, so
yeah, and I had pointed it out in one of the many streams that Martina and I have done the last couple of weeks, but The Rock and Roman, we were robbed of that match, yes, and we could have gotten it at WrestleMania, and it could have or couldn't have been for the title. I don't think it would have. It doesn't, especially if Rock would have
yeah.
turned and cost Roman the title like so many people wanted. I was against that because it's like if Cody, that's how Cody's going to win. That is setting his championship run up for failure already. And now that it's not that it hasn't been, a massive just blah of a run,
Mhm.
but I mean, in the sense of Rock and Roman not having the title, the WWE title, the Universal title, whatever one we're calling it, I think it should be what they're kind of doing with Roman and Solo. It should have been for the Ula Fala, the head, the
Thank you.
title of head of the
Right.
table, because so many people are like,
Right.
oh, it doesn't need the title, and it can, but it's like the title sort of make him that was why he was named the tribal chief and everything like that. But now they're telling so many stories to say that that's not true. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see what they end up doing.
I feel like for me, Roman Reigns is a bit like Undertaker at WrestleMania now. Roman Reigns is a title. He is the guy to
Yeah.
beat. You know, so
Yes.
it's one of them ones.
Yes. Martina
Yeah.
said the same exact thing last night. The title makes the guy, but Roman was the guy that made the title.
Thank you. Yeah.
Absolutely. And I don't know. I hope we do get Roman and Rock this year at Mania. I know I've been seeing a lot of push for Cody and Rock at Mania. So I mean, where does that leave? What does that leave for Roman? If that's what
Solo
if that's the
maybe.
way they're going to do. What's
I
that?
mean, they could do Jacob versus Roman. That might be a decent match, but
That's
I think
true.
to
That's
actually
true.
do, I think we're all set on. I mean, Roman fans that we are, we want to see Rock Roman to finish the Bloodline story, but we'll
Right.
see what happens.
Yeah. 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 It's I mean, Roman and Jacob at Mania. If they had to postpone Rock and Roman again,
Mhm.
I think Jacob and Roman would be the fantastic way to go. And then especially, I mean, it's just it. In have you watched? Did you ever watch Young Rock? The documentary on Peacock about Rock and his life.
I got up to the part when, coincidentally, I got up to the part when young Roman said, "Acknowledge me." That's the part I
Yes,
like.
yes. So there was that part, and then later in the show, one of the episodes in the last season,
Right.
The Rock is in one of his many rooms, his game rooms, where his all his titles are and stuff. And there was a part where it's not like he took a minute to show it or hit at it. I mean, it was just there. But he had the blue universal title in one of his rooms, which
Right.
he never won. So that being an Easter egg, the part with young Roman saying "acknowledge me," that being an Easter egg, and him saying Rock in the show saying "not yet, Joe." That a match like that can only happen at
Yeah.
WrestleMania. So
Yeah. When
to
he
me,
paused, yeah.
that's saying that they know this can only happen at WrestleMania. So
That's it.
it's got to happen. It's got to happen this year, next year in Vegas, I think.
To
And
answer you, Nick, Dev,
yep,
sorry to cut you off, brother.
yep,
They've teased it so much, it
yeah,
has to happen.
yes,
If they didn't tease it at all, no problem. So that's the point I'm at. So, you know what I'm saying?
yeah. From when he returned, when The Rock returned in in
January.
Colorado this year and said about sitting at the bar, sitting at the booth, or at the head of. I mean, from there to all the things they did with Young Rock to
Mm.
it almost happening at 39 in LA. It's got to happen sooner or later, and
Exactly. Yeah.
sooner is their only option before it turns into the Jake Paul KSI type of thing where it's like, okay, it's just never, we're going to accept that it's never going to happen.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I mean, I could go on about their feud and their rivalry and their hatred for each other. All I mean, into the wee hours of the night. So
Yeah.
um, that face to face rolled from that into the fourth matchup of Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. Their match 2 weeks ago when Roman returned to SmackDown was, it seemed like that match was 40 minutes, and I thought that episode of SmackDown was bad besides the 7 minutes of Roman Reigns. But then we saw last week, and their match last week. I think it was last week, or it might have been, they might have been going every other. I can't even remember. But
Mhm.
SmackDown last week to this week was so much better. The match was great. I mean, Cole was, Carmelo Hayes and Andrade, they were doing moves that Michael Cole didn't even know what they were called. What did you think of their fourth matchup, and how many matches do you think they're going to go?
I love the match. I love the corkscrew puncher that
Yeah,
Andrade did before the commercial break, and I think that for me that should go best of seven and culminate for on like a pay per view. Do you know what it should be? It should have been on a pay per view for a bash, but it's okay because I did it on the location that's hosting the bash, so I give him
yeah,
a blight for that. So that's where I'm at. But just
yeah,
that today they got such great chemistry, Nick, and it's
yes,
great to see. Yeah.
yes, absolutely. I know people are kind of getting tired of it, I guess. And the best of seven in wrestling is kind of crazy to think about, because it's like, with on Raw side of things, we see the New Day, we see the Final Testament match after match after match every single week, but it's in different variations of the
Mm.
groups. So it's not like a one on one every single week over 7 weeks. They're spreading it out, so it doesn't feel like 7 matches just between those two. But I mean, I agree. Their chemistry shows that they can do 7 matches, and all 7 matches can be banger after banger after banger after banger. But yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. It should culminate at Bad Blood, and have a stipulation on it, if it's a street fight, if it's or even, I mean, even if you do one more match on, or I mean, I guess you would. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could do one more match over the span of the next 4 weeks until we get to Bad Blood, through September, and then it's that first weekend in October. So you could do one more match with these two, and then push for that final one, saying no, I'm not. We're not done yet, and or have it end in a disqualification. So then it's still technically tied. Um,
I've got an
and
idea.
then go ahead.
Winner best two out of three falls, right?
Okay,
Winner gets the US title shot against LA Knight.
I love it.
How about that?
I love it. Now, do you run the, like I said, the one more match, and it's a ends in disqualification, so it's still technically 2-2, and then you run the best 2 out of 3 falls at Bad Blood, and then that would give them, that would launch them into the feud with LA Knight, and that automatic title shot at what would be Crown Jewel on November 2nd.
Mm. I would have the first one, no disqualification, as you said. I would have Carmelo Hayes win it, the best two out of three. Because obviously he's the heel, and Ellen as the champion. So go on from there. That's
Yeah.
Crown Jewel. So yeah,
Yes.
we're pretty much on
Yeah.
the same page.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Do the disqualification with one, in the next couple of weeks as we build to Bad Blood, and then
Mhm.
throw the best 2 out of 3 falls at Bad Blood with those two, and Carmelo Hayes getting the win, and then going into Crown Jewel for a US championship shot against LA Knight. Yeah, that is
Mhm.
that's fantastic. I'm definitely cooking with that. And I was also cooking with the main event as we rolled into the street fight. Nia Jax came out first, and then Michin, of course, ran a promo in backstage, and then made her way out with the shopping cart full of chairs, kendo sticks, trash can that ended up being used against her. But what did you think of the Berlin Street fight in the main event of SmackDown tonight?
It was fun. Mia Yim's come such a long way. She deserves where she should be in to title picture. Nia Jax has been a great champion, but I'll be honest with you, Nick. I was waiting for Tiffany's music to hit when Nia Jax went for the table. Then it hit. Do you know when you just know it's going to happen?
Yeah.
And what I was watching it with my parents. Shout out to them. And what happened was my dad seen it. He rarely watches wrestling, and he said, "She should cash in. She should cash in. She should cash in," because he's so
Yeah.
invested. And I was like, "No, wait. Watch tonight. Watch the lady," because he didn't get the names right. And I said, "What's the lady on the right? She's gonna turn. She's gonna look up at her friend." And he's like, "How do you know?" Because I've been watching this for many years. So that they're invested, but they don't watch it all. So it draws to their thing.
Yeah, there's always it's always those type of things that is that can get someone that doesn't it's not invested into it. I had that with Elimination Chamber when it was back in Montreal. Roman and Sammy. My cousin was over watching it, and
Right.
she was watching it with me and my friend, and neither one of them watch it, but they were invested. And when Sammy kept almost pinning Roman, they were like, "Are you serious?" They just had that reaction of they're invested, but they don't want to
Yeah.
admit they're invested. But yeah, I mean, I was watching and trying to paying attention to other things as just trying to keep the talking going, so it wasn't just me sitting here watching it. And I was watching and covering, talking about the WNBA there. And then all of a sudden, I heard Tiffany's music hit, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute!" So she came out, and of course, I was like, "Oh, is she gonna do it?" And then Barrett had a great call of, "Oh, she was caught red-handed," and I wasn't gonna do it. I wasn't gonna do it to Nia there, and then helping Nia win, and then of course Bailey's return.
Really,
Um,
yeah.
from seeing her for the first time since SummerSlam, very much getting a big pop from the crowd there. And then,
That's a tag team match next week.
oh yeah,
That's gonna
yeah, yeah, that is
happen.
yeah, that's a tag team match for sure, and very it's going to be very interesting to see how long they keep this up with Tiffany there by Nia Jax's side and in that briefcase. I mean, she has it for a whole year, so the more she waits, the more ready she will become. I mean, she hit that moonsault so perfectly, prettiest moonsault in the game, as Graves or as Cole said.
Yeah.
But Nia Jax does retain, and that was SmackDown. 5 minutes ago, Gunther or Kaiser did talk with Byron Saxton, so have to listen to that a little bit later. And then yeah, that was pretty much SmackDown. So um, your uh, your your final thoughts on SmackDown tonight, and give me. I know you gave a prediction for Bash and Berlin already, but what's the match you're most excited for tomorrow, and the match you're least excited for tomorrow?
I want to do something. Can you get the match card up itself?
Yeah, yep, I can.
Tonight's show was very good. I thought it was going to be like a run of the mill house show, as they do, but it kind of surprised me. But to be honest with you, I was kind of let down by the crowd a little bit because obviously the chance wasn't all that. But maybe hopefully they're saving it for the Ring General tomorrow.
Yes,
Hopefully.
yes. All right. So I
Yeah.
do have here is the this is just from www.com. So yeah, we can we can run through it, and you can give me your predictions for Bash.
Right.
So Cody
So,
Rhodes and Kevin Owens.
Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
He's a nailed on. Sorry, KO.
And whenever we get to the match of where you had your idea there, you can just let me know, and we can stop in the yeah, you can run with it.
That's fine.
Gunther and
Randy,
Randy Orton.
I think Gunther's going to win it, but I think he's going to win it in a dominant fashion. Remember when Brock Lesnar battered John Cena at SummerSlam? It's going to be one of them beatdowns, power bombs, chops, 1, 2, 3, dominant fashion. Randy Orton will get RKO, but it'll be like a full finish. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, crowd goes, oh, you nearly had him. But Gunther's like, gonna chop you down some more, weigh you down. 1, 2, 3, Gunther retains. That's right.
Okay. All right. So two for two on retainment so far. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then the mixed tag match, Dirty Dom and Liv, the Judgment Day against the Terror Twins, Damien and Rhea.
Bad Blood's coming up. People expecting Rhea versus Liv to be one a cage. Liv won at the last meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the Terror Twins are taking this one. 1-1 is going to be between Rhea and Liv, and Rhea takes it at Bad Blood. So yeah,
Okay.
I'm going for the Terror Twins.
Yeah, I was thinking that same way. I was on the same wavelength of this one. I think Martina said that the Terror Twins need the win and should win, and given Rhea pinning Liv to say, hey, I pinned you now, so go to Bad Blood, do Hell in a I want to see the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood with these two. But yes, the Terror Twins, I'm same wavelength again. And Martina did bring up a good point of these two do have the Judgment Day. So
yeah,
Finn comes out, gets Damien distracted or pulls him away from the action. And then you leave Rhea on her own to the crowd gets behind her and that pushes it into her getting the pin on Liv after putting Rhea puts Dom through a table or does they have a spot with Damien distracted or whatever, and you can set up Damien and Finn for Bad Blood as well, and then of course Rhea and Liv with their Hell in a Cell match at hopefully Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood, but I like that one as well.
Something just popped up into my mind, Nick.
Yep.
What's Raquel's injury status? How's she getting on?
That's a good question. Yes, because I swear I just saw something about her. She was just in an interview or something, and she was talking about it. I can look it up here real quick.
Because I've got a feeling she might return anytime soon. I mean, in the near future, sorry.
Let's see. It so back in March was when she was pulled from the active roster. Right. And the medical stuff popped up. Let's see.
Because obviously her and Liv are pretty close in storyline.
Yeah.
So
and you got to think when she comes back, is she going to come back and align herself with Liv and do that, or is she going to come back and just interfere so Liv loses and then tries to go in and say I want to be next, and then then her and Rhea are going to have their thing just to prolong Liv's title run, given that it's still fresh,
right.
But I mean, I wouldn't mind Rhea winning the title back in Hell in a Cell. I had said that for a while up through when Liv won it and Rhea stepped away, and definitely these two being the head front of the women's division over on Raw. So I can't find anything on Raquel's update. This was from July 24. Here's one later. August 15th shares positive update. This is from Inside the Ropes. Let's see. I'm just trying to find out where she says what she says about it. She just she has not looked or felt this great in months. So it doesn't look
Right.
like there's a timetable for the return. Just that she's been out of action for 6 months and no indication on weekly TV or anything like that. So,
Right.
but that is a very good point of possible returns coming up. Same with
Mhm.
Charlotte Flair. When's the Queen going to come back and confront Tiffany Stratton over on SmackDown? Because that's the dream match that I want to see. Those two,
I
but
think they do
the
Queen versus Queen, her and
oh
Naya.
oh
Yeah, that's the one. It's ready made. I'm
take
looking
my
for that.
money. take take my money. So the Terror
Yeah,
Twins getting the win here,
yeah.
and then of course the match I'm most excited for, the second match in this rivalry that's been going on for 7 months, all over a friendship bracelet that is more interesting to watch than Cody and his friendship belt that you could I guess you could say, but a strap match, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre. I have CM Punk winning and getting his bracelet back, and then it continues to Hell in a Cell to Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood, and Martina and I both we have Drew winning the trilogy fight in Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood. So
Before we get to that, I think we're going to
mhm.
see new women's tag team champions tomorrow.
Okay,
I think Jade and Bianca are going to win it because, I, no disrespect to Alba or Isla, since winning it in Scotland, they haven't really done much.
yeah,
And I feel like, no disrespect to Jade in ring work, she's doing fine. She's doing great as a tag team. I don't think she's ready yet for the singles competition. So putting her back as a champion with Bianca will get her ready to turn against Bianca when they lose it again to whoever the heel team is on SmackDown. So that's pretty much where I'm at with that one.
okay, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I guess I'm one of the ones that I want the turn to be Bianca on Jade. I want to see heel Bianca.
Oh
I'm
well.
tired of the pushing her to be the next Cena, and we can't turn her heel because of the kids. I'm just give me that shock that all the kids had when Bailey cut her ponytail off and she turned years ago. The viral clip of the one girl crying because she slashed the Bailey buddy.
Right.
I want that. I want heel Bianca. Yeah, I
Don't
mean,
forget,
I
like
agree
her
though.
theme music. Sorry to cut you off
What's
again. My bad. Her theme music is a heel
yes.
music as well. I'm on my own. I get a wall. I never needed you at all. You know, it writes itself.
Oh, I need it. I need it. I definitely need it. Yeah, strap match, Punk and McIntyre. I got Punk winning. And then I agree with you in the women's tags. I think we're gonna see new champs. Um,
Mhm.
for that one.
Yeah, I agree. I think Punk's winning this as well.
And
AJ
then
into appearance. What do you reckon?
an AJ, I mean AJ appearance and then being involved in it would be fun. Would be or AJ
Mhm.
Lee or AJ
Yeah,
Styles.
AJ
AJ
Lee.
Lee.
Yeah, maybe Bad Blood.
AJ Lee showing up. I man,
I think the same
I
as for
would love
Bad
to see
Blood.
it. I know people were talking about that at Money in the Bank,
Yeah.
and recreating the one spot that they did, years ago, whatever. But yeah, I mean that would be fun if she does come back, if and when she does come back, whenever she comes back.
Mm.
That would be a lot of fun, especially with what Martina and I talked about with when we ran through NXT No Mercy predictions. I think Roxanne Perez will be coming up to the main roster very very soon. Could we see AJ Lee come back with her and that be the way Roxanne Perez jumps up to the main roster?
Hey, it's that's a WrestleMania match. You know, passing the torch type of thing. You know.
Oh, yes, absolutely. Um, yeah, AJ Lee get coming back would be a lot of fun to see. and we know Larry's not allowed on TV anymore, as Punk said.
True.
So AJ Lee coming back would be wild. And then the final match on this card, I believe. Just scroll. Yep, the final match on this card was, we already hit on it. Jade and Bianca, we both have them over the Unholy Union and we get new tag team champions. And that being the only title swap on this card. But yeah, that another edition of picks for Bash in Berlin going into the weekend. So I mean, hey, we said we were shooting for an hour, but I think we covered a decent bit. So we can wrap it on up here. This will be great. I can actually get some sleep for work tomorrow, and we will be back at 1:00 for Bash in Berlin. So hope you'll be joining in the chat and whatnot.
I'll be there in the chat, yeah.
We definitely appreciate it. But you want to let people know where they can find you? Anything else you want to plug? And then we can we'll wrap it up and see you tomorrow in the chat.
Absolutely, man. First of all, apologies for cutting you off on stream a couple of times. That's my bad. Of course, I admit, but we'll work on that. My name is Mans. First time on the channel. Thanks for having me on as always, Nick.
Yeah.
Hopefully, my reign on the show will be better than Cody Rhodes' reign, but you can find me on social media at Manj Sandu, where I write about articles about wrestling, Bash in Berlin. We had All In and in London. It was a good show. But yeah, keep an eye on my socials and find me on there. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you for joining. This is the Final Bell podcast here on TribalReignMedia, also on Sleeper Sports Media, and of course Martina Talks Wrestling. Martina could not join us tonight because of power outages and technical difficulties that we did see last night on the Ringside Rundown and the Bloodline Breakdown, but we're hoping that we make it work for tomorrow. That's gonna do it for this one. It's a quick episode compared to the last couple of weeks for the post bell. But again, thank you for joining us. I'll throw your Twitter. Your Twitter's down there on the bottom scrolling through, but I will throw that in the description as well. And then we will we'll have you back on and can slander Cody until all hours of the night whenever Martina is able to be back. But until then, thank you again. Thanks everyone who caught this live, catches it on the replay. We appreciate it, and we'll see you tomorrow for Bash in Berlin. Peace out. Have a good night, everyone.